and welcome to Nicole. You guys, I have been waiting for this interview right here. I am personally excited behind it because I have a first in my presence, and I am so honored to be here with Miss Genois and Miss Marsha Mitchum. What you say?
I said, thank you.
You are so. No, thank you. Thank you. I am so thankful for these ladies' time. And so we're gonna get right into this interview. I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourselves and let the people know why I asked you to come. What is it that you do or have done?
I am Genois Brabson. I was asked to do this interview by Latika. I think she asked me because she thought that I would be able to share something about my career on the Fort Wayne Fire Department.
Yes, ma'am.
Said all you know, they said.
She opened the doors to individuals, ladies like Marsha here. And Marsha, let them know what you do.
So my name is Marsha Black, and I'm a Fort Wayne firefighter, and I currently hold a position of a code enforcement officer or fire inspector.
Awesome, awesome. And so, Ms. Genois, how long were you serving on the fire department?
I served for 20 years.
20 years. And now you were the first what?
I was the first woman firefighter to complete the fire academy. However, I worked for 4 years in dispatch prior to going through the fire academy.
Okay.
So I actually started the fire academy in 1979. And I was working in dispatch from 75 up to 79.
Okay, wow. The first woman. And I was saying the first Black woman, but just the first
First-
woman,
Yes.
period. Wow.
Now, there was a lady that had started the academy, and I kind of almost can see her. But she decided it just was too much for her or her family. I'm not sure if she meant physically, because I didn't really talk to her, but I know that I did see her. But she didn't complete.
Okay, but you did.
Oh, yeah. They would have sent me back, maybe to dispatch or maybe home. Yeah,
Wow. Now, how long have you been retired?
I retired in 1995, so what, 35 years? That sound right? 35,
Yeah.
35 years. So,
Wow.
thinking,
Wow.
that would have been, somebody else could have come on at that time and done 20 years, and I was still retired. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Wow.
thinking maybe,
Yeah.
because it would be maybe just 30 years. Maybe I added 5.
Okay, yeah. 30, yeah,
about
30
30.
years, yeah.
Maybe
This is the
30.
25th, yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay. But speaking of retiring,
Yes. So I've been on a little over 33 years, and I retire at the end of July.
wow. Wow, that is, I don't know if I could do it.
You could.
You good?
So what are some of the areas that you guys served in though on the fire department? Have you been in the same position? Were you in the same position
Well,
all of your career?
well, mostly because when I came out of the fire academy, I went right into the fire office. the Fire Prevention Bureau, code enforcement. So I done code enforcement and I did education. So, and what I admire about Marsha, Marsha, she's always just been the type of woman you can model yourself after.
Oh.
And in the firehouse, she respected. She's not being disrespected because they know who she is. I always admired that about her. Because when Marsha came in, I think, was I just getting ready to go, maybe possibly? Because what year did you
Came on
start?
in 91.
Okay, so I was there for about 4 more years.
Yeah.
About 4 more years, so I had an opportunity to watch her. And
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I said, now that, she's some kind of woman. And and in my estimation, she was a superb woman.
Oh.
They're gonna make sense. Definitely. They're gonna miss her.
I'm gonna miss the department, but yeah.
And I admire her because she was strong. She could hold on.
Awesome, awesome. So now serving in the fire department, I mean, when you hear a fire department, people automatically think of fires. Tragedies
Of course.
happening.
Yes.
Do you have any experiences during your serving that kind of stick with you? Do you have that thing like, oh my God, I'll never forget this situation, this family, this place, this?
I've had a couple. I remember, can't be specific, but like when I was still in the engine house, just one of the runs that I made, it just really stuck with me because it was it was a child and the child didn't make it. And so that always sticks with you. But then there's the positive side also when you pull up and you help someone and you save their property, their home, and they're grateful to you in that way. Or just, I remember the first time I drove one of the trucks and seeing, looking over and someone doing a double take because it's a female driving truck. So just, those moments like that. So yeah, they always stick out.
Awesome.
Well, yeah. I had quite a few moments.
Yeah.
When, the one when I had the child, I was like my children kind of go through it. Even the guys, you see the emotion. But there was a child, he had set the fire. And I went, to talk to him. And, his mom, was there. And they were gonna have to do, he set the fire. And I always remembered that because I knew that it was not just the fire that was the problem for this family. You know that there's other things going on in those neighborhoods. And so I thought, okay, was he setting the fire because he was mad about something, or is he mad at his mom that she wasn't home, or she came home in a certain condition. And I never forgot that thing. Because I was able to see sort of like that down spiral down thing with them,
Wow. Wow. So is joining the fire department something you would recommend to other women?
I would, if you are the type of person that you like helping your community, you like the excitement, you like just the adrenaline of, every day, your day is different. No day is the same. So if you're that type of person and you are a person that's interested in the medical side, along with the firefighting side, I think it's something that if you're interested in it, to, seek it out and talk to people and even, go to a volunteer department. And some people, volunteer before, but if you're that type of person and just are a server, you're a servant, it's something to look into. Because I think sometimes people don't always know fully what we do. They think it's, just fighting fire,
Yes,
but there's other things that we actually do.
Okay, like what?
So like, I'm a code enforcement inspector, so there's the code enforcement division. There's the arson division, and so I'm code enforcement, so I go before to try to prevent. Miss Genois was in the public education division, which they educate early in the school system with younger kids. And then there's hazmat, and so there's just other EMS, yes. So there's just other areas in the department, within the department that you can move into.
Yeah, you could specialize.
Yeah.
And the arson investigation is very intense. I mean, if you were a type of woman that wanted to aspire to something like that, where you want to investigate what happened here. And especially in those cases where there was something horrible happened here.
Yeah.
And you want to find out what it was.
And with the arson division now, you go through the police academy because we are investigating. So you do have to have that police portion of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So even in code enforcement, I have police powers, but they're only the right tickets and things of that sort. Whereas with arson, you actually go through the police academy.
Wow.
You make arrests now?
I'm not 100% sure.
Maybe.
I think so, because that, before the police department did the investigating and
did.
arresting. So I think along with their assistance, we can
Like it.
arrest. Yeah.
Wow. We learning something new today, right? Watch out for the fire department now too. Don't speed past them either.
Not that type of ticket, but
Okay.
a ticket like, if I do an inspection and I write up a sprinkler system being down. If I come back in 30 days and it's
Or an
not completed,
exit.
then I can write a
Exit
ticket
is
for
blocked.
anything that's still in violation.
You said a what?
Or an exit is blocked,
Oh.
or a school that has taken out their fire alarm.
Schools take out the fire alarm?
Well, you never know. If you go in and check, when we go in and check to see if the fire alarm is working and we find out it's not working, we want to know what happened.
Right.
And then if they say, well, we decided to disconnect it because of da 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 da.
Oh.
It doesn't matter if it was construction or you just decided that you could just do that.
Wow.
Yeah, yes, we
Okay.
found all kinds of stuff. You'd be surprised.
Goodness.
So you need that fire code inspector to go around and check.
And check that. Okay, okay. So was there ever, this is my favorite question of all times that I ask people, was there ever a moment you wanted to quit the department, and what did that moment look like?
So I remember when I was 21 and I was in the fire academy, and my class consisted of 15 males and then myself.
Whoa.
So I had never
Whoa.
experienced, going to class and just being female. So the classwork was pretty rigorous, but I just remember a time when it was like, I don't know, can I do this at the very beginning? So I talked to my family and I talked to my brother, because I had an older brother that was a firefighter. He was like, you know, just stick it out, do whatever you have to do and it'll be worth it.
Mhm.
And so I said, okay, I got this. And here I am, 33 years later.
So, Ms. Genois, did you have background in the fire department also?
As far as,
Like any family members?
no, I didn't have any problems.
So what drew you to that department?
Well, at the time, you know, the laws were pushing up for women to be in those non-traditional jobs. Now, they were asking departments, you know, what are you doing to make sure that you're opening this up for women? You can't just say, yeah, we don't mind having women. They want to know, are you actively seeking to have women? So that's what they did. They came out. I was at the campus out at Purdue. And they came out there and they had their what do they call it? What do they call those people that go around and recruit? Yeah, they had one from the police department, one from the fire department. So they both came out to the campus. They were handing out backpacks.
Wow.
And I had already filled out some applications because I was in sociology, so I was filling out all those sociology apps, and I wasn't getting no hits, not from Indianapolis, not from South Bend, not from Gary. I thought, and I'm not going to Chicago. So, you know, all over Indiana, nobody was sending any favorable information, so I thought, I'll just go ahead and fill this out and see what happens. And then I had got a job at Parkview, working in the county. And I thought, I got a degree, I don't want to just work in the cabinets and stuff. So it was like 2 years before I heard from them. Really? 2 years. And when I went for the, they have you to do a real extensive written test. So after that, and then I got an interview, and it was a police sergeant that interviewed me. And he was contemplating
And then
having me come to the police department.
Oh,
But I don't know what changed his mind. But anyway, it's good because I ended up, you know, getting pushed over to the fire department.
okay.
And so when I went in as a fire dispatcher, they basically called us. We weren't like police fire dispatchers, but we all knew who was police and who was fire. So really public servants were over city, Fort Wayne City employees.
Hey. Now, Miss Marsha, what are your retirement plans?
So, I probably I plan to relax for at least, now this is my plan, I don't know. if it's gonna work. So I plan to relax and just enjoy life and travel a little more for the first 3 or so months. I do have some job offers, part-time, but I do plan to rest for at least 3 months, maybe 6 if I can do 6.
Okay.
And then a part-time job just to get out and still stay active and be in the community. But yeah, just want to travel and enjoy life.
Awesome. Now, Ms. Genois, we spoke about something that you were wanting to do during your retirement time. Can you share that with the people?
Well, you know, I hadn't really planned to share that, but
Oh, okay.
but I mean, it's okay, it's okay. I shared it with you, Latika, because I was admiring you.
Oh.
And I thought, I said, you know, I'd like to learn how to do that.
Oh, no, not that part. No, with the young ladies.
Oh, that part.
Yes. We won't share the other parts just yet.
Oh,
We
okay.
will leave that one on the
Okay,
wraps.
okay. Well, I don't know. I've always wanted to just, do stuff with the children. So you're talking about that.
Yeah, and like mentoring other.
And
women.
mentoring, being mentors, yes. I've always wanted to be a mentor, with, especially, I want to say, the more impressionable age, which I'm not sure what it is.
I know, because they.
But I would like to say elementary school age.
Mm,
I really enjoy that. I had an opportunity to work with some girls over at Wise Park. They were just so adorable. They were just, I mean, you know, just sweet, acting on their best behavior, you know. I really embrace that. I would enjoy doing that. I would love to just have maybe even a what do you call it? Some kind of curriculum that I would do. And maybe, you know, kind of fine tune it to do that.
Some, my grandbabies go over to Wiser Park.
Oh,
Don't do that. My kids went to Wiser.
My
Okay.
granddaughters.
It's a good school. It's a very good school, and they're doing good things with those kids over there.
They really are. Awesome, awesome. Now, is there, I see you have some things on the
So
table.
I just brought show and tell, you know.
Oh,
I didn't know, this is an old calendar that we did. We used to, when we did the education programs, we would do some kind of calendar contest.
mhm.
And what the contest would do, would get the kids involved in embracing the lessons that they had. So they would draw something on a calendar
Okay.
and then we would hand them out to them. You
Oh.
know, it'd be their calendar. We would get somebody to, we get sponsors to pay for the calendars.
Oh.
So, you know, it kept the kids involved.
1989, my goodness gracious, wow. Wow,
Really dating ourselves here,
my
but
goodness.
you know, we well preserved.
Yes. Wow.
And then this is a book that was written about me
Oh.
by
wow.
Carol Butler, and it was illustrated by Richard Ridley's daughter.
Okay.
So go figure that.
Yeah.
And I had just met her when they were doing the book. That's when I first met her.
Awesome. That is so cool.
Marsha probably is in this book.
And you know what? That picture.
Which
the
one?
St. Mary's Flag,
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually,
Where you working
I
at?
was working at Station 2.
Let's see, where is
I think
it?
it's at the
Is
front.
that the first one? Yeah, that fire, what was that, 19?
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that fire.
On that fire.
Is it 2002
Oh, wow, that was horrible.
or 19?
Let me see.
It was just before I retired, I think, because I retired in 95, so it would have been 92, maybe.
Yeah, it might have been 92.
That was a horrible fire.
It
Because
was.
I'm thinking, what was I doing that day? I know I had gone to something right near downtown. And I saw all that smoke. And I kept thinking, well, it's not my shift. But I might need to check in to see
Yeah.
if I'm needed.
Mhm.
And, you know, they had more than enough people over there, so I didn't go directly there, because there was no way you could get up there unless you were actually gonna
Yeah.
be involved. They don't want any,
Yeah,
You know.
they had it
they had it roped
dropped
off.
off.
So
But I
if
got
you
it.
didn't have reason to be there,
Wow.
they don't want you there.
Because there was a lot of spectators, people
Mhm.
trying to see.
They're like,
Of
no, we don't
course,
need
yeah.
y'all here if y'all ain't working.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
Wow.
that smoke was so thick.
it was.
Yeah.
It was
Mhm.
really big.
Yeah, this was kind of like one of our yearbooks. I don't know, have they done any more?
They
Since
have.
2002,
They
you
have.
got some?
I didn't bring it today, but they did one maybe a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay, so this is something they rarely do. They
Okay.
put all the fire personnel and the fire retirees. So, wow, it's one way we could kind of connect with each other through the book.
Awesome. Was there anything else that you ladies want to share? What is something you While you have their attention.
while we have the, well, you know, there was a fire in, like I had just come out of the academy that October 1979. And that actually, it was that fire, it was a fatality, 4 children died in the downtown. And it just set off, it's like somebody would set a bomb in the middle of Fort Wayne, and the city was in an uproar about that fire.
Wow.
And we had, one of the ladies that came to the fire, office that week. Her son was in the classroom with one of the children that died in the fatal fire.
Wow.
And he had gone home and asked her, he wants to know, how is it that he died, Mom, in fire? He knew how to stop driving.
Oh.
We all practiced stop driving.
Oh.
And she came in, and the time our chief told her, he said, yes, ma'am, we're gonna do everything we can about it. She said, no, I don't wanna hear you tell me that. I want to know what you're gonna do. And he said, well, I'm gonna let you talk to one of our officers. You talk to Genois. And he sent her over to me, and I'm like, I'm brand new. What the hell am I doing? And so she and I, we sat down, you know, and talked, and I told her, I said, well, I said, if they had a smoke alarm, a working smoke alarm, I said, that would have been, I said, most likely they wouldn't have lost 4 children. And she said, really? She said, well, then what can we do to make sure every home that has children has smoke alarms? So I said,
Wow.
oh my goodness.
Whoa.
So that's how things started to roll. That's when we really kicked up our education program, and we did make a way where we could put smoke alarms in every home. And I think it's still free. No cost to the home, you know, the homeowner. Now, as far as apartment buildings, landlords and things like that, I think they have to maybe do theirs a little bit differently. But fire department, we found a way to do that. And I mean, it was a whole big campaign. That first year, it was lots of things happening. It was very, very huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you also helped spearhead a very important part of the south side of town
Oh, yes.
for the children. Yes.
That was a collaboration
Collaboration.
with the police department, because they already had a safety village. It was on Wallace.
Oh, I do remember.
Wallace Street near Lafayette.
Yeah.
And so actually the root of that, the guy that was over it, Don Wisner, Officer Don, and we sat down just like this. And we were like, okay, we can't believe it. Let's make sure the city is safer and that we don't lose children. And I knew his goal was keep kids safe. I said, our goal is keep kids from dying in fires. So I said, let's find a way. You talk to your people, I talk to my people. Let's see if we get the people together. And so that's how that started. Took 4 years, pretty much 4 years for Survivor Live.
Wow.
And Safety Village.
Wow.
To be completed.
And actually, with you doing Safety Village, there's, throughout the years, there's been other departments that have come here to look at Safety Village, to
Really?
have one at their fire department.
Isn't that neat? That's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
seed. We planted a seed.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
This is sounds pretty, I think things are much safer for families and children because of the efforts of this, you know, our department and all the work that they put into it. You know, aside for everything else, we get the job done.
Right.
Wow, that is so wonderful. Wow, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for y'all time.
Well, very well.
Thank you
You're
so much for
welcome.
your time. You guys, we got it done. And I am so grateful for you all also watching. Have a great day, you guys. And don't just have a great day, but make it a great day for somebody else.